the OMG hour.
Welcome, everybody, to the OMG Hour, episode number 307. Of course, we are your obnoxious Manx Galaxians, and I am your host, Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion Tane.
And I am Tico, Mr. Second Place.
And as you've noticed, yes, on the YouTubes, we're going old school. We're going to do the whole show right here, right now, as is, like we used to do, you know, until episode 300. And that is simply because I'm doing Extra Life tomorrow and through till Sunday.
You're busy.
I'm
You're
busy.
A little busy.
So I don't really have time to do the normal edits and get the podcast ready. So podcast listeners, we're recording this all at once just for you, and you're going to get the straight audio from the video. And those of you on the YouTubes, you're getting it all in one. We're going to do a couple reviews. We're going to do our couch co-op, and it's all just one show for you today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we move into and do some couch co-op.
It works out better because I'm exhausted from Halloween.
Oh my gosh, I am so exhausted, and I have to do 25 hours Extra Life starting tomorrow morning.
Do you guys get kids still for Halloween?
We actually, the last couple of years, we had nothing. So last year and this year, we actually turned the lights out and came downstairs and watched TV. Because,
so we had about only like 10, 15 kids tops. Although
I
did like Halloween.
That. Yeah, the year before that, I think I had like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Right? We got this big bowl of candy, and like 3 or 4 kids come by, and I'm okay, I'm not sitting upstairs waiting on the couch all night for 3 or 4 kids.
Yeah. Now, I'll tell you what I did like about Halloween. So I took Leah out trick-or-treating up and down the neighborhood, and we got to one house, and I shaved randomly. I don't know why. I just shaved. Anyway, some lady asked
for Halloween.
Some lady asked Leah if her older brother would also like some candy. So,
what? Wow.
Clearly, I've got some senile blind people in my neighborhood. But still, I appreciate it.
Or shaving takes off 20 years.
It does. More than 20.
Yeah, 30 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, man.
It was a good Halloween for that reason only. Other than that, I'm exhausted.
Well, did you get to watch some TV this week? Let's start
I did
talking.
Watch some TV. I watched a few things.
So, Titans started this week.
Well, it started a few weeks ago, but I know we both just watched it and binged the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, now have you watched all 3 episodes?
I have. I did watch all 3 because I knew that you had watched all 3, and I knew that we would want to talk about it, so I did watch all 3.
Well, I don't know if we talked about it or not back when the trailer first came out, but when I first saw the trailer for Titans, first things first, I'm a huge fan of the Teen Titans, the comic. You know, I used to read Teen Titans. I love the characters. My girls watched the Teen Titans cartoon. You know, now, granted, the Teen Titans I read in the comics isn't the cartoon. It's not Starfire or Beast Boy or Cyborg. It was Red Robin, and it was I can't remember the other characters, but it was always Robin. And later on, it became Red Robin, who was not Dick Grayson. But I've always liked the Teen Titans as a title. So when I heard they're doing, you know, live action Titans, I'm like, okay, cool. That sounds awesome. But then the trailer looked so unbelievably dark and gritty, and
it did feel very gritty from the original trailer, and the show actually as well now.
Which isn't a bad thing per se, but the way they were portraying Robin as being almost like a killer. Like he's beating people to a pulp, and I'm like
there's blood splatter, and there's
not Robin. I mean,
his little Robin-orangs or whatever he calls those things.
Yeah, right.
You know, throwing those things into people's eyeballs and stuff. Like it's a very violent.
It's violent, right?
And with the like Teen Titans, one of the movies was, you know, it just came out I think this week or comes out next week on. So like to have that sort of
opposite
comparison of like the cartoony kids, wholesome Teen Titans.
And then
Titans, you know, coming out at the same time, and it's like,
well, this is quite literally an R-rated Titans. It is R-rated.
There have been like, you know, 3 episodes, at least 4 or 5 deaths already of like random people.
Not only that, but cursing and swearing, like the language in it is definitely an R-rated version of Titans. Okay, now I'm finding it actually really well done. I am surprisingly enjoying it, despite the fact that to me, this is not Teen Titans.
What I had to do is I watched the first episode and I actually really have had some fun with it. I've enjoyed watching it, but I've had to take it out of the DC thing for me. Out of the DC, it's like this is a show. Like I've seen a couple of these sort of gritty superhero shows before. There's one called Powers that PlayStation put on
years ago.
Years ago,
I found that one actually boring to be. I couldn't get through it.
It was very dark and very gritty, and I find like the coloring and stuff like that is all very similar in this, and so it just takes that tone, and I have to almost take it out of the DC. It's like that's Robin, but it's not Robin at the same time.
Yeah, it's Dick Grayson, but it is not the Dick Grayson we grew up with. I understand he's also going to meet in a future episode. He'll meet the current Robin. I'm not sure which one. If it's
Jason Todd, maybe?
Is it Jason Todd or is it? It could be Damian Wayne. Who knows which Robin is going to be, right? So I'm actually surprisingly enjoying the show.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see where they're going. Starfire doesn't know who she is.
Yeah, she's got some sort of amnesia or something like that.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's like because I know in the cartoon, Starfire is an alien princess.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're playing that into this. But she just wakes up. She doesn't know where she is. She doesn't know who she is. All she knows is she's got she has a picture of Raven, and she thinks she's supposed to protect her.
Yeah.
And then Raven has this, I'd say almost like a demon inside her that is essentially her power.
Yeah, it's a split personality. It's a Jekyll and Hyde sort of thing.
But is that the Raven in the...
trying to... I don't know. Like I thought Raven had control over her powers and stuff like that, but it's constantly this battle of this demon trying to let me out and let me deal with this. Let me out to do this. In
a very surprisingly a very horror type fashion.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very, very dark and very like along the lines of what you'd expect in a horror series or something like that.
Absolutely. And I think that's kind of what I'm liking about it, is they're kind of getting away with that little bit of horror sense with this demon inside Raven. Now, they've pretty much done nothing with Beast Boy so far, but I guess they'll come into it.
Yeah, I mean, they want to make sure it's CG, so they're not going to throw him in that much if they can avoid throwing in that much CG.
How do you make Beast Boy dark?
Yeah, I mean, he's just a goofy...
Yeah, he is. Now,
I'm actually really enjoying it, and it really shows like the superheroes that they're showing. They're broken. They're all broken people. Like, and they really make that come across on the screen well.
Really, they do. I do have to say, however, that Robin's costume looks great. Looks very realistic. Like it looks good. Like something you'd see in the movies. Okay. I do have to say, however, episode 2, and no spoilers, but episode 2, Hawk and Dove are in it. Now, Hawk and Dove are old side. They're not huge names, but they're comic book characters. I have to say that Hawk and Dove's costumes, however, took me out of that dark and grittiness. They actually looked like B-movie, cheap.
It felt, you know what it felt like?
Odd-looking costumes.
So looking at those costumes, because you'd mentioned that before I watched that episode, like, hey, what do you think of the costumes? I said, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it. I watched it. It really made me think of Kick-Ass.
Yes, which is a comedy.
Which is a parody superhero.
Yes,
thing. It really made the costumes like that.
That
feels like Kick-Ass, like when they had all the people dressing up as superheroes and stuff like that. That's what it felt like. It's like that in that universe.
That's exactly. I think you pinpointed right there. Their costumes seemed like a parody, like almost opposite to Robin's like very good looking costume.
Yeah,
theirs was like, are you kidding me? You look terrible. Like you look like a joke, honestly.
Yeah, and those actors too. It was hard too when they took the masks off, because I recognized both those actors from other stuff that they've done immediately too.
Yeah, well, the girl playing Dove was just in. She played North in Detroit Become Human, the video game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She was in a TV show called Almost Human, actually, which dealt with a very similar.
Yes, exactly.
Storyline, but she was also in Friday Night Lights as well.
Okay, I knew her from Almost Human and Detroit. Yeah. I liked her. I thought the two of them made very good characters.
Yeah.
But when they put on their Hawk and Dove costumes, it totally took me out of it.
Again, it took a comical
tone, and not in a good way. But it shouldn't have been, because they were. I mean, you've got this guy. You're right. It is like Kick-Ass,
and I think it's because of the grittiness of the show. Like I think even Batman showing up in his costume may look a little off because of the grittiness and the realism they're trying to portray with the city and with the world.
Christopher Nolan's Batman was pretty, realistic.
I don't know. I don't know. It just, you're right. It did feel like it stood apart from it somehow.
I agree. But I'm enjoying the show. I'm looking forward to watching more. I'm surprised I'm enjoying it because I think I'm enjoying it despite the fact that to me it's not Titans. It's not Teen Titans, and I think maybe
not Teen Titans. Well,
that's why it's called.
They're all in their late 30s,
and I think that's why it's called Titans now. They are separating it from the Teen Titans.
Yeah,
right.
So this is like they've grown up and grown, apart and stuff like that. I guess. Well, no, they never. No, it's never.
They're meeting for the first time. Yeah. Anyway, that's Titans. Look forward to seeing more. You watched FBI a few weeks ago.
I'm actually caught up to FBI.
Yeah, we've caught up to it. It's strange. There's been 6 episodes, and there's no more slated to come for a while. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. It's supposed to have a 13-episode season, but I'm really enjoying FBI. I think it's really well done.
I'm quite good. I'm enjoying it as well. I like the characters. I like what they're doing. They haven't gotten too much into the personal stories. It's more of a crime of the week sort of.
Yeah. But I think it's in that way it's well done. Of course, my daughter Sydney loves Missy Peregrine, so it's Missy Peregrine. I think it's an M at the end, right? Yeah,
Grim, there is an M. Yeah.
I've liked her since Rookie Blue as well, so it's good to watch another show with her.
I was a big fan of her on Reaper.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It is a very funny show. It's worth a watch if you haven't seen it.
And I believe last night one of my favorite sort of supernatural comedies started again. Stan Against Evil, and this is John C. McGinley, who is of course my favorite character from Scrubs, Dr. Cox. The guy John C. McGinley is so good at being that just get out of my face kind of grumpy,
get off of my lawn, miserable old curmudgeon-y guy.
Yeah, but in such a so humorous.
Yeah, it is a very well done show.
So Stan Against Evil is a comedy supernatural. Like imagine Supernatural with, Sam and Dean Winchester, but make it a half-hour comedy.
Yeah, it's along the lines of Ash versus the Evil Dead. It's there's some gore, there's violence, but it is done in a very tongue-in-cheek manner.
Very, stuff especially like his daughter.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil, like those sort of the comedy horror, which seems to be very popular lately, is done in that thing, and they're starting off their third season right now,
and they always air 2 episodes back to back,
which is great because you get an hour of it,
but you only get it for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? There's only 8 episodes per season, and you get it 2 episodes per week. So it's a good, you spend a month, you watch Stan Against Evil, then you wait a year for the next season. Yeah. But the second episode was like this X-Files parody as well, and it was so good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was watching it at lunch today, Tico. Headphones on, and I usually just sit there and I enjoy it, and I'm eating. I was laughing out loud at several of the lines in that episode. It was so good. It was
like very dead on. Like we know exactly what we're making fun of.
Yes.
It was really, really fun.
We are Mulder and Scully, and we're making fun of the X-Files. There was a line in it.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the agent who's playing Mulder said, but then John C. McGinley's character said, "I don't want to believe."
Yes.
Which is the parody of the X-Files, I want to believe,
Yeah. And even like some of the lines, like, when they said, how do you guys get into, like, if you want to do an autopsy, how do you guys get it? It's like, the trick is to bring your own gloves for the autopsies.
Oh my gosh. And then the autopsy scene, she says, just like any normal FBI agent, I'm also a medical doctor. And she picks up the head. This is a head. Oh my gosh!
It is a fun show, and I'm glad. I did not know they were actually coming back for another season.
No, I didn't either. Because honestly, the last season ended. It felt like an ending.
Yeah, they ended sort of like it was a 2-season arc.
Yeah,
really for a storyline, and it's like and it didn't get solved, and we start from scratch again.
Yeah, basically, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Stan Against Evil, so good. I love it. Well, I'll go back to talk about superheroes a bit because this week we found out that Marvel, and I don't know if Marvel's confirmed it yet, but the rumor is that Marvel is developing an MCU, an actual MCU television show with Falcon and Winter Soldier from the movies.
From the movies. So the actors from the movies are allegedly signed on for this.
And like sort of like a buddy cop kind of drama, or I don't know if they're maybe even... Those two could easily do comedy.
You know what? Just, have the two of them roommates in a flat in New York. Like, do a style comedy.
Right?
Comedy or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't have it like be anything other than that. It's just those two doing like the odd couple, they have to move in together or something like that, for some Marvel reason. I don't know.
Marvel hasn't confirmed it, but you know what? Of course, we know that Disney's coming out with their own streaming service, so it makes sense that they're going to want to take some of the because they've already announced Star Wars TV shows coming with The Mandalorian, and there's I believe a new cartoon coming as well on that streaming service. So it makes sense that they want to do some Marvel stuff, and if they can pull characters from the MCU movies into shows, I think that'd be great. I've also read that they want to do a Scarlet Witch show.
Yeah. Anything that creates original content for them to air. Like throwing their movies, movie library and stuff up onto that channel is fantastic. Onto that service is fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I mean, people can go out and buy those. They already own them. Like that's why places like Hulu and Netflix has been really into their original series and stuff lately, is to add that added value. I think that this is the sort of thing they need.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be exciting when that happens. More. It's the same. I feel the same way with that as I do with Star Wars. If I get a weekly Star Wars live action show, I kind of like in heaven here. This is awesome, and I would love to see the same thing done with Marvel. Yes, we have like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and we have the Netflix shows, but to me, bringing characters from the movies onto the small screen feels more like a cohesive MCU to me. Rather than, yes, we've got Coulson on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but he's the only one we've seen from the movies, save a couple of cameos.
Yeah,
right?
And I think that it works well if you tie those in together. Like if you make that, I think it's gonna affect both in a more positive light. Yeah. I love what Marvel's been doing lately too, as well, with taking the obscure characters and bringing them more to the forefront. Like I know there's talk of either a Squirrel Girl TV series.
Oh yes, that's right. Well, not just Squirrel Girl. I think it's going to be what's she in New Avengers or something? What's the name of her? That
I think
squad?
she's in one of those groups. I
can't
remember.
And I heard they were doing that. Like Squirrel Girl will be one.
Hard to say.
It is hard one to say, but I don't think it's just her show, unless it may be it. And I thought it was going to be like the New Avengers or the Young Avengers. Maybe that's what it's called. I can't remember.
It's hard because there's a different type of Avengers and all of us. Plus, New Mutants movie is coming still too at some point.
That's true.
Which is a horror film as well.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. And speaking of more televisions, before we move on to gaming, Ubisoft is looking to adapt Child of Light to a TV show.
That'll be interesting. That's an interesting one to do, because that's
one of my favorite games. Like small RPG cartoon, like really well done. So there's two IPs they've essentially given the green light to create TV shows out of. One is Child of Light. So they want to adventure. I think it's Princess Aurora, I think is her name. I'm not sure. I could be wrong there.
Yes.
And then the other one is Werewolf Within, which is essentially based on the werewolf tabletop game, where you try to figure out who's the werewolf. So they want to build that into some television show. I don't know if it's going to be like a one-off, sort of mini-series, but that seems like a strange title to want to develop.
You know what? Develop that one there into not into a like sitcom or anything like that, but a reality series, like a reality TV show.
That would be cool.
That would be fun. Like everybody, like you get contestants and somebody's the werewolf, and like you have them put them into like a medieval village or something like that. And they live there and they have to go through and do that. If this happens, by the way, I want a royalty on it in case
that would be pretty good.
Of course, Ubisoft listens to our show.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
So I want my royalty check or executive producer credit if you do it that way, because. All right. I think that would be a better way to do it.
Oh, Looks like I don't have the chat on today.
You're not connected to any YouTube live chat.
I am not connected. Oh, crap, and it just crashed on me again. Oh, good.
The YouTube did?
No, the XSplit. I mean, we're still streaming, but I can't change anything. We are stuck where it is right now.
This is so. If I swear now, it's out there forever.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm not going to do it. I'm just saying if I did. I'm just saying it's a possibility. I'm not doing it. I won't do it.
Okay, you know what we'll do while I'm waiting for this to respond, and we'll just you know, I don't care. I'm going. Let's just keep going.
We're going live. This is you know,
is live. Let's move
warts
on.
and all. That's what we get.
Let's move on from television, and
right,
let's do our 7 degrees of translation.
Yes, that I forgot to do.
That you forgot to do.
I will be live. I've done one. Well, when we were like booting up, so I've got one ready to go.
Oh, good.
And then
we'll
do the others as we go. Now that we changed the rules slightly, so we are now allowing geek-related movies or television shows as well as video games.
As well as video games, exactly.
So we will have to give the genre that we are picking from.
Okay. So why don't I start? Give you a couple of minutes to think of some more titles you want to do, because you still have to come up with 2 more, I guess, right?
I know, but I can do this quickly. I've got a room here. I can look around and pick something.
All right. So I'm going to do one. This is a video game.
Okay.
All of mine are video. I'm just saying they're all video games because we made the rule after I had already got mine.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you're well ahead of the game.
I changed up my 7 languages. This time I'm going to go Zulu, Filipino, Japanese, Swahili, Korean, Arabic, and back to English.
All right. English, I know.
First one for you is I love these. Restrained late. Restrained late.
Restrained, which is held. I do the same thing every time I look at my pile of games. I'm like, I've got 6 games here. Like, it's going to help. Restrained late.
I'm going to tell you right now, I have no clue how this got translated to restrained late.
All right. Skyrim. Well, that would probably just come back as Skyrim.
Right? That's not a word. You know that's not legal because that's not a word.
All right.
I'll give you a pass on that one.
All right. My second guess is God of War.
No. It's Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead Redemption? Restrained?
Restrained late. Like, what?
Well, that makes no sense.
No, it really, really doesn't. All right, now you give one to me.
All right, I have one ready to go. It falls into both the TV and movie category.
Interesting.
So I will give you that.
So it is a game that became a movie or vice?
No game. TV movie.
Sorry. TV movie. I heard you wrong.
Not a TV movie. TV or movie.
TV or movie. Okay.
And movie. I guess TV and movie. All right. So I went Greek, Polish, Punjabi, Romanian, Lithuanian, Welsh, and then of course English. Because otherwise.
So now I got to think. I got to think backwards when you give me it, and I'll come up with it. Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Great worms.
Great worms.
Yeah.
Great worms. Wow. And it's TV and movie.
Yes.
Oh my. Great worms. I got nothing. I'm thinking like Mighty or I don't know. Giant Snakes on a Plane. No. I got nothing.
A great TV show.
Right? I got nothing. What is it?
Firefly.
Oh my. Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow. Firefly became Great Worms.
Yeah.
One word? Firefly?
One word.
Wow.
Firefly.
That's great.
So it came to 2 words.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
I've got another game for you.
All right.
Same 7 languages. This one is Battle of Atlas Battlefield.
Would that be Starlink?
Yes.
Atlas?
Yes, it is Starlink.
I finally am on the board with one of these. All right, let's do one. Let's do one live here, shall we?
Yes, do it live.
All right, let's pick.
Oh, you're going to literally do it right now while we're talking.
Like literally live. We are picking a.
Well, you know what we could do? I could give you a few minutes to do that. We'll stop the stream here, give you a couple of minutes. I will sort out the issues I'm having, and we'll start the broadcast up again. Part 2.
All right.
Okay?
Done.
So we're going to stop right now, and we'll be back in just a few minutes while I figure this out, because I literally have to just shut this thing down. So, excuse me, Windows, while I tell you to shut down XSplit. We can still talk as I'm doing this.
Well, then I will chat with you.
Okay, I'm ending the here we go. Might just disappear.